Hey guys, it's John and Kurt from FLR, and today we're going to be talking about the Taylor & Company 963MF. We've already done an unboxing. A lot of you are excited to see a full review, so here it is.
All right, first and foremost, seriously, I think that this gun's from Blade Runner, and I'm 100% okay with that. It actually scored extra points. It looks really cool.
Well, the funny part is the unboxing video we did, we got an email from the owner or the CEO of the company that manufactures these in Italy. And his exact words is, people either love it or hate it for how ugly it looks.
I think it looks awesome.
It looks sick.
It looks really cool.
So it was nice of them to even reach out. So,
and that was kind of crazy because that happened in what, like 24 hours or something. So, and again, that's awesome that they reached out straight to us. So thanks.
So let's go ahead and dive into this. First and foremost, we have build quality. Build quality, I'm going to give it a 4.5. It seems very well built. Everything seems good on it. The grips are really nice. The half is for the Cerakote, and that was addressed in the email that we got from him saying that the Cerakoter they use is a well-known Cerakoter from in Italy, and he apologized for that. So that was a interesting thing to get.
Yep. I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to be a little bit more critical of it. Overall, it's really good, and I appreciate the fact that the frame itself, it's all CNC out of like one piece of, is it aluminum or steel?
It's a steel.
It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things. It's steel.
It's got molybdenum or something.
Yeah, it's nickel, chrome, and molybdenum.
Yeah.
We're not steel experts.
No. Like overall it's really good, but it is a little rough around a couple edges. But again, for the price, I'm totally cool with it.
Next we have is reliability. Reliability is a 5. It shot every round we put through it, which was about 200 rounds of a mix of 38 Special and 357 Magnum.
I'm also going to give it a 5. Totally agree. I mean, this thing was rock solid. We didn't have any issues whatsoever. We did have ammo from Scorpion.
Yes.
Right, and we had a mix of 38 and 357, and it shot everything great. And honestly, the accuracy was really good too.
Next we have is feel, and feel for me is a 5. The grip is nice. This nice wooden grip with the fingers. It fits really good in my hand. With 38 Specials, this thing is a tank and shoots fantastic. With 357 Magnums,
they're a little hot.
They're a little hot.
But that's normal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to give it a 5 for that reason.
I'm going to give it a 4.5. It is, like, I will definitely say with 38s, it shot a lot softer than I expected. The grip is great. I really like the grip angle, and just the feel of it is awesome. My couple dinks come from the hammer's a little thin, and there's not a lot of texture on it. So to pull the hammer back was a little funky. And the trigger itself, it's thin, and it's really kind of smoothed off. So it took a sec to kind of figure it out. So that's why, in terms of feel, I'm gonna give it just kind of a 0.5 point cut. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the unboxing, I mentioned the hammer and how it was heavy to pull back in single action. And Kurt, we figured out the trick.
Yeah, and once we did, it was night and day. You want to get into that now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and dive in because that's part of feel.
Yeah.
What you have to, so the way this revolver is designed, the hammer goes off to the left every time you release the trigger. So that's part of their ball bearing system that they use for their safety that helps keep everything smooth. What happens is now that it's off to your left, you're fighting that ball bearing. So if you push off to the right and pull back, it's night and day different.
Yeah, so if I just pull it straight back, or I'm also honestly probably pushing a little left, it hangs right there and it's really hard. But if you pull right, okay.
It really is. Like when we were first shooting it, I was like, it's really hard to shoot this single action. Like it's really hard to pull the trigger. And as soon as you're like, hey, just push it over to the right a little bit, then it's really, really easy.
Yeah, and then like you said, the only thing I could ding it for and feel in the hand feels great and everything like that. The trigger, I wish it was serrated. It would help out a ton, especially on what the original MSRP on this gun was. So I do think the hammer and the trigger were kind of afterthoughts at the end of the day.
I really can't stress that little trick with the hammer, because it took, for me personally, I went from, I didn't really enjoy it that much to, oh my gosh, this thing's really cool. So again, all you have to do is when you're pulling the hammer back, just kind of put a little more extra pressure on, to the right, and it's amazing how much better it is.
And it's weird. So when I notice the hammer itself, and for those of you who have it, you'll notice it goes off to the right. Or I'm sorry, the left when they fire. And so that's part of their safety bar and their safety system. And the CEO in his email even mentioned that there's a ball bearing in there to help with everything to go back and forth. So it's a really interesting internals on this.
And the first time I did it, like, I was like, why is that, like, the angle of the hammer itself seemed weird, and you just couldn't run it. But as soon as you kind of kick it over to the right, then it all falls into place and it all just works. So again, if you get this and you run into that, just do that little trick and it will make a huge difference.
So next we have is factory options. Factory options, I'm going to give it, because there's not much info out on this, guys. Like, none at all. So I'm actually going to give it a 4. And the reason why I'm giving it a 4 is because you can get it with or without target sights. You can get it with the combat sights. You can get it in a 3-inch barrel, 4-inch barrel. Now this model, for those of you who are out there who have bought this already, there's 2 variations to this gun, and they are not marked on any website of the variation. One, which is the classic model, which we have, does not have the Picatinny rail that comes with it. If you got the sport model, that comes with a Picatinny rail, and if you look at the shroud itself, this is an aluminum shroud over a what I've been told is a Walther barrel, so a high quality barrel. There is a spot underneath. You'll see the set screw. There's another hole that if you got a sport, it'll have another hole for the Picatinny rail. So I'm going to give it a 4 for all the options and the slew of colors that it comes in.
I'm also going to give it a 4. I do wish that there was a little bit more information about it, but it is. There's a ton of options available. The other thing that we talked about earlier was some versions also come with target sights, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so again, just kind of look out for those and just see, before you buy, figure out which version you want, and, just shop a little careful.
Yeah, I ordered the version with the target sights, and I got the one with the combat sights. I'm more happy with I like the combat sights better.
They're great. The sights are great. They work well. And again, this thing was really accurate. So
next we have is Aftermarket. Aftermarket is going to be a 1, and then you're going to be like, well, what do you mean? Well, for those of you who have asked multiple times about the speed loaders, it will work with the 587A from HKS. These are the HKS speed loaders. We did try them. They were a little sticky, but they do line up with the 7-shot. So that is the 587A from HKS for those, and then speed strips if you want to go. But speed loaders this way, those are the ones you can go with.
Yeah, I'm also gonna have to give it a 1, and I don't want to, but it is. There's just not gonna be a ton of options. But again, it's a revolver, so there's not gonna be a whole lot out of the gate anyway. But just because it's a little tricky to find info on this, I'm gonna have to give it a 1 and go that direction.
Last but not least is our X Factor. That's our what makes this thing cool. And I'm gonna actually give it a 5 for X Factor. At the price point that we paid for it, still, in my opinion, the gun looks good. It looks cool. Some people are gonna say it's ugly. I know from the pictures, this top strap looks very thin. It's not. It's just a really cool combination of steel with an aluminum shroud, really nice wood grips. And another thing to add that we haven't mentioned yet is the adjustability of the trigger. There is a nut inside the grips on the spring. You can adjust it. They also have springs available to change the trigger pull weight. Now, I don't know when those will be available in the States. I'm just going off of the email we got from the CEO of the company in Italy. And they adjusting it really smoothed out the trigger and made it really good. Now, they are claiming that they have the higher spring weight because of hard primers. I'm assuming there's harder primers overseas, maybe. I don't know. I haven't run into any hard primers on this specific type of caliber, but overall, it is really cool and deserves a 5 for that.
I'm also going to give it a resounding 5. It's been a long time since I've shot a gun where my X factor really shifted. It's a revolver that's not terribly my thing anyway, but I was like, this thing looks really cool. But then I'm like, it's a little rough around the edges, right? Are you getting like a really like super high-end expensive revolver? You're not, but you're not paying for that either. I mean, for the price point, this thing is amazing. And I went from, I really don't like the hammer, I can't run this thing single action, to, just kick it over to the right a little, and now this thing's amazing. And I really like the look of it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks freaking amazing. It just looks different and cool. I dig it. The grips are awesome. But again, how cool was it that, they reached out straight to us and they were like, they saw the unboxing video and the amount of information that he sent us. He's like, no, here's what we're doing. Here's all this, here are the technical specs. Here's why we did the things. Come on. Like, that's amazing.
Nobody else has ever done that.
No. And I really went from, yeah, it's okay. And then we talked about, and we'll get into like price point and that kind of thing. I was like, yeah, I don't know, to, I will ride or die, man. I will fight you for this thing. This thing's cool. I really like it. It's fun to shoot. It's a little quirky, but that's what I honestly like about it, And it really grew on me, and I had a lot of fun shooting it.
So last we have our final question, because I'm going to pull myself away from this question a little bit. I'm going to let you go first, because I bought this thing. Question, Kurt, is, are you a buyer of the Taylor & Company Army Olmi, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, 963MF defense, depending on who you talk to in the name. But yes, are you a buyer of this?
Am I a buyer? So it really comes down to price point and what price you can find it at. I know originally we were saying like this thing was like $1,000.
Midway had them for $1,000. A couple other people had them for $1,000, and that's where you find some information about some people complaining about the Cerakote and things like that. But yes, it was originally $1,000 on sale where we found this. It was $400, or for this version, because I paid $400 for the Target site version that came with this. This version was $349.
So for $1,000, I'd have to say no. But for $350, $400 all day long, seriously. And again, I'm not a revolver guy. I am about to go out and buy one. Like, I liked it that much. It's just fun to shoot. I think it looks cool. I can't say enough about the grips. It just feels really good in the hand. I hate to say that. That just sounds so cliche. But again, it really does. And it's just a fun gun. It's a little rough around the edges. There's some things about it. It's not as tight as you may find in some other guns. But again, those are going to be a whole lot more expensive. And so at a $350, $400 price point, yeah, absolutely, I'm a buyer. So John, what about you?
Well, I bought this.
Well, yeah.
On a whim. No, I think for the price point it's at, it's a good value proposition for a 7-shot revolver. Most of the 7-shot revolvers are like $400, $500, $600. Well, let me rephrase that. They're more like $600, $700.
Right.
This one, at the price it's at, it is well worth the spend. If it's just going to be a cool sit-around gun or a conversation piece, it's really good at that. Accuracy-wise, I mean, Kurt, you've got the Target.
Yeah. So
we suck at shooting revolvers.
Well, the thing too is, like, we were shooting double action a lot. It's a little heavy to shoot
at about 15 yards.
Yeah, I think we were a little further out than that, honestly. We were probably pushing 20, 25 maybe. But again, I felt good with it. And the TCRT Target held up great, by the way. Just saying. I was honestly a little concerned because we had flat nose.
Yes.
And I thought that might, but no, it held up great. So anyway, but it's a fun gun to shoot. It's an easy gun to shoot, honestly, especially with 38s. I was surprised how soft this thing shot and how easy it was to shoot. Again, to shoot it single action, just take a sec to figure out that hammer. But yeah, this thing's awesome.
No, I think it's a steal at the price it's at.
Yeah.
Now, you did talk about refinement. There are some quirks to it that you have to figure out. The cylinder, when you go to put it back in and out, it is a little stiff. You got to really mean it,
Yeah.
and make sure that that's clicked into place.
You may have to rotate it a little bit to kind of get it to index right.
The other thing is originally, don't. I'm not a Revolver expert, so to those in the comment who are going to be like, you're an idiot, go ahead and comment below. Don't over oil it, because it will slow it down and it will not lock up properly. There's a small click, so once it dried out, it's fine. It was just a little bit.
The other thing too that I want to bring up is obviously you're going to have some break-in.
Yes.
Right, and it got a lot better as we went.
Oh yeah.
You know, but I mean, I noticed things like, you know, when we were putting rounds in the cylinder, you can feel a little bit of machine chatter in there a little bit. But again, at this price point, I'm okay with that. You know, some of the cases didn't quite drop out. You could feel where maybe they were expanding a little bit just because of the, you know, the cylinder tolerances. But again, I'm okay with that. And the thing is, normally I would really, you know, fault it for that and dink it for that. But just the shootability and sort of the fun of this, it outweighs it for me. It really...
Listen, this is a fun, very shootable gun, especially in 38s. Yeah. 357s weren't bad, but 38s were.
And again, the 357s weren't bad. They were just 357s. I mean, they were some hot loads, but again, it handled it fine. You know, so yeah.
Well, guys, if you pick one of these up and we're looking for the review, here it is. Really do like this gun. I think it's good. The small little quirks that you can find and get over. I appreciate the gentleman from Italy reaching out to us and sending us some pictures and things of the internals. The internals are cool on this as well.
That's something to bring up though. It really is different. You know what I mean? Different. Some like you were saying, like the needle bearing, you know, ball bearing safety that they have on the hammer, it's different, you know? So it's kind of cool that they did that they really kind of innovated on the internals some, you know?
Yeah, this is the coolest, ugliest, coolest gun I've ever seen.
It's not ugly. It's freaking... Not. If you think it's ugly, say something, but I don't. I think it looks cool. I really do.
So, guys, we got to thank some people before we go. First and foremost, we got to thank TCRT Targets. Go to tcrt.com. Use code FLR10 to save 10% off at checkout. We don't get paid for it. Kurt does. It's his gun.
I appreciate it, really.
Yes, he does.
I do.
And they held up really well.
They really did.
Really held up well.
So we also need to thank Click Click Bang. Check them out on Instagram, and it's CLIK, so it's Click Click Bang 1 on Instagram. Awesome folks there, so be sure to check them out.
Guys, we also have to thank AZCCW. Go check them out for all their classes, including their California non-resident permit that is now available.
We went through that. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
We'll have a video on that soon. Yeah, but it's awesome that they offer that. Not many places have that available. So if you do travel to California, you can get an out-of-state California CCW.
And last but not least, we have to thank Red Lab 3D for the awesome stand. Go check them out for all these awesome customizable stands that you can get from them.
So guys, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate it. And be sure to leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think of this. If you've picked one up, we'd love to hear your feedback on that as well.
Guys, we'll catch you on the next one.